Taxonomy is any kind of classification system. If you use filters while you're online shopping, you use taxonomy. In biology, we're going to use this hierarchical system where we're going to have these really large groups, and then we're going to take that big group and split it into smaller groups and smaller groups and smaller groups until we finally get to species. And we can define these smaller and smaller groups based on the shared characteristics of these organisms. So just another analogy to throw at you: when my kids were small, on laundry day I'd get this huge mountain of socks. And so the first thing that I would do is I'd take that big mountain of socks and I would make a pile of dad's socks and mom's socks and a pile of socks for each kid. And then I would go back to the dad sock pile and make smaller piles. I'd pull out all the black socks and all the white socks and so on and so on and so on, working through everybody's sock pile. We can do this with organisms too. We can start with a big pile of living things and split them up into smaller piles. That first piles we're going to make, where we call that our domain. That's our broadest taxonomic grouping. There's 3 domains: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Archaea and bacteria are both prokaryotic organisms. That means that they are microscopic, single cellular organisms that in their cells they do not have a nucleus where they store their DNA. Eukaryotes, on the other hand, do have a nucleus where we store our DNA. Eukaryotes are plants, animals, fungi, and protists, which include things like amoebas and algae and other weird dudes. Like we saw in our earlier example, there's a lot of right ways to classify organisms. The goal of taxonomists, that is the scientists who study how to organize life, is to have our taxonomic system match the evolutionary relationships of these organisms. We can think of these evolutionary relationships like a really big family tree.